Alright, I wanted to try and see what this would do when I put the grid back on. And it switched over, but it's not showing it here. We'll see it in a second. We're pulling 1200, 800 of the battery, and whatever out of that. When I refresh it, it's going to show it completely different once it updates. But if we look on the inverter itself, we're going to get a much different story. Okay. We can see 1.3K going from the grid to the load, which is the house. They showed the little house logo, and to the inverter. But we can also see solar is going to the inverter, and so stuff going into the battery. But it has not updated itself here, so we don't really know what the hell is going on. That's why this app is so useless, because a lot of stuff just gets filtered out of the website. You don't see the change. See how long that took? So now we can see, apparently we are using two things at once, which is something I guess it wasn't supposed to be able to do, or, well, the solar can charge the battery while the grid carries the load. But the solar and the grid can't supply the load and battery at the same time, like other inverters. But I don't want, right now I don't want the inverter on, so I need to know what my cutoff voltage is for the inverter. Well, maybe we can come in here and change it. Okay, so my AC charging settings are, it should end at 52.9, and it should start at 52. Well, I'm actually going to set this lower than that. I'm going to go 50, because I don't want it to start at 52. I mean, it's going to be on all the goddamn time. Okay. And let's see. The charge current. I'm curious what it will do if I put 100. We'll know if it ramps up. Of course, it won't show immediately on here. So I need to go over here and look at my inverter and see what it's doing. Wow, it's 113 volts on the grid right now. It's sagging like crazy. Okay, let's go back over here. So now that didn't change anything. And then we need to set this one to 50. Okay, I heard that changed something. Let's go see, check the inverter. So that turned off the grid. Okay, perfect. Okay. Jeez. Why does this gotta be this complicated? Because, yeah, I want to use my solar. I don't want to use all the grid. It's going to be quite a while before this thing updates itself. So, at 53.5 volts, we got quite a bit of power in that battery. But, I don't know how long it's going to take the system to balance itself out. Because if you keep, like, taxing the crap out of it all the time and one of the batteries is out of balance, you're going to have problems. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's see if we can update this. Okay, now we see almost 1,000 watts coming out of the battery. We're at 52.2. Our load is 1338. I'm gonna guess it's probably gonna click over once it reaches 52. I don't know how long that will take. Let's read this and see what we got for our settings. Okay. The warning should come on at 51.3, but I've never heard a warning. No noise ever happens. It should cut off at 49.5, which might be too late. EOD is 50. Okay. AC start battery charging voltage is at 50. And it ends at 52.9. Hopefully it follows that structure so we can keep it from being on too much. I don't care if it goes back and forth, I just don't want it on a lot. We're at 52.2. So I think we might be closer to having it set how I want it. Okay. Says the buzzer is enabled. I don't know what ECO mode is. Okay, so if enabled, when battery reaching on-grid EOD value and AC charge disabled, the inverter will switch to bypass mode until battery is being charged again. That may be a setting we might have to explore. So, is that just ECO? ECO or ECO? Battery ECO enabled. When the battery reaching on-grid EOD value and AC charge is disabled, the inverter will switch to bypass mode until the battery is charged again. Switch time can go up to 15 milliseconds. Okay, so I don't really think that that's something that we want to use. Okay, so it's not supposed to charge until it hits 50 volts. It's supposed to stop when it hits almost 53 volts. Our warning is at 51.3. Our cutoff is at 49.5, and the EOD is 50. So far, it seems to be okay. Look, our battery turned to green. We're pulling a lot out of that battery right now. 1100 watts. We're at 51.8. We just want to make sure that we get this like to where it doesn't trip the BMS. Like I just need to get it to where, you know, there's a safe cushion. Because once the BMS trips, then we had all this other problems, and then you got to either wait for the battery to rejuvenate, or you got to go in there and jump it. And then, like last time I did that, it took a chunk out of the terminal. So I don't want to do that again. 51.8. We're still making about 400 watts, but not enough to run anything. Quite the graph here. Crazy. You can see where it was drawn heavily right here. Okay. $51.8. Let's go check this. So it shouldn't start charging until 50 volts, according to that AC charge thing. Okay, then you get EOD, same thing. So we're a half a volt above the cutoff. So I think that should be good, assuming that the BMS doesn't trip before it hits 50. Because this battery has been giving me grief like that. Alright, I'll let you know if something else happens. Alright, we're at 51.7, so I'm going to try to keep monitoring this just to see what it does. Alright, it's been a few minutes, we're at 51.6. So it's been quite a while. 51.5. So anyway, I'm not going to sit here for an hour waiting for it to drop to 50 volts. But I will let you know when it screws up. Because it will.